Welcome to Wealth Wise. I'm Tom. Today, we tell one story about money. Today's story: the man who was fired by his own company, Steve Jobs. Think about the phone in your pocket. Maybe it is an iPhone. Maybe it is another brand. But think about how you use it. You touch the screen. You see beautiful icons. You swipe. You tap. Before the iPhone, phones looked very different. They had buttons, small screens, no apps. The man who changed that was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs co founded Apple in 1976. He built it into a famous company. He became rich. He became famous. But then, something strange happened. In 1985, the company he started, Apple, fired him. Yes, fired him. The board of directors said, "Steve, you have to leave your own company." Imagine that. You start something, you build it, and then people tell you to go away. Steve was 30 years old. He was hurt. He was angry, but he did not give up. He started new companies. One of them was called Next. Another was called Pixar. Maybe you have heard of Pixar? They made Toy Story, Finding Nemo, and many other movies. Years later, Apple was dying. They asked Steve to come back. He returned, and he saved Apple. He made the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone, the iPad. Let's start at the beginning. Stephen Paul Jobs was born on February 24th, 1955, in San Francisco, California. His birth parents were young students. They could not take care of him, so they put him up for adoption. A couple named Paul and Clara Jobs adopted him. Paul was a mechanic. He fixed cars. Clara was an accountant. Paul Jobs was very good with his hands. He built things. He fixed things. He had a workshop in the garage. When Steve was young, his father showed him how to build things. He said, "You need to make the back of something beautiful too, even if no one sees it." Steve never forgot this. As a child, Steve was very smart, but he was also difficult. He did not like school. He did not like teachers telling him what to do. In elementary school, he played pranks on other students. He was suspended many times. But one teacher saw something special in him. Her name was Imogene Hill. She gave him money to finish his schoolwork. $5 here, $5 there. Steve later said, "She taught me that learning could be fun." When Steve was in high school, he met a man named Steve Wozniak. Everyone called him Woz. Woz was older than Steve. He was very good at building electronics. They became good friends. They worked on projects together. One time, they built a device called a blue box. It could make free long-distance phone calls. They sold them to students. In 1972, Steve went to college. He went to Reed College in Oregon, but he dropped out after 6 months. He did not want to waste his parents' money. He stayed at the college, sleeping on friends' floors. He took classes he found interesting. One class was calligraphy, the art of beautiful writing. Years later, this would help him design the Mac's beautiful fonts. In 1974, Steve went to India. He was looking for spiritual meaning. He wanted to understand life better. He came back with a shaved head and traditional Indian clothes. He also came back with new ideas. He believed that technology and spirituality could work together. That technology should be beautiful, not just useful. After India, Steve got a job at Atari. Atari made video games. Steve was not an engineer, but he had ideas. He asked Woz to help him with a project. In 1976, Woz built a computer, just for fun. It was called the Apple I. Steve saw it and said, "We should sell this." They started Apple Computer in Steve's garage, Steve's parents' garage. They sold their things for money. Steve sold his Volkswagen van. Woz sold his calculator. The Apple I sold for $666.66. It was just a circuit board. No case, no keyboard, no screen, but people bought it. In 1977, they made the Apple II. This was a real computer. It had a case. Steve wanted the Macintosh to be perfect. He pushed his team very hard. He would look at a design and say, "Not good enough. Do it again." He told them, "It needs to be insanely great." In 1984, they introduced the Macintosh. It was the first successful computer with a mouse and pictures on the screen. It changed everything. But there was a problem. The Macintosh was slow. It did not have many programs. Sales were not as good as expected. At the same time, Steve was having problems at Apple. He was young. He was difficult to work with. He would yell at people. He would call their work shit. The board of directors was worried. They brought in a new CEO. His name was John Scully. Steve had hired him from Pepsi. Steve had asked him, "Do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life? Or do you want to change the world?" But soon, Steve and Scully started fighting. They fought about money. They fought about products. They fought about the future. In 1985, the board had to choose. They chose Scully. They took away Steve's power. Steve was devastated. He was 30 years old. He had started this company, and now they were kicking him out. He later said, "I felt like someone had punched me in the stomach. It hurt so much." He sold all his Apple stock except one share. He wanted to still get the annual report. But Steve did not give up. He started a new company. He called it Next. It made powerful computers for universities. Next computers were beautiful. They were advanced. But they were also very expensive. They did not sell well. However, something important happened with Next. A young man named Tim Berners-Lee used a Next computer to invent the World Wide Web. In 1986, Steve bought something else. He bought a small computer graphics company from George Lucas. George Lucas made Star Wars. The company was called Pixar. Pixar made computer animated movies. At first, they made short films. They also sold computers. The computers did not sell well. Steve put millions of dollars of his own money into Pixar. He almost lost everything. But then, in 1995, Pixar made a movie. It was called Toy Story. It was the first full length movie made entirely with computers. Toy Story was a huge success. Pixar became famous. When Pixar went public, Steve became a billionaire. Meanwhile, Apple was dying. Without Steve, the company made bad products. They lost money. By 1997, Apple was almost bankrupt. Some people said Apple would be gone in 6 months. Apple needed help. They needed a new operating system. They decided to buy Next, Steve's company, for $400 million. Suddenly, Steve was back at Apple. At first, he was just an advisor. But soon, he became the CEO again. Steve looked at Apple's products. There were too many. Different computers, different printers, different everything. He drew a simple chart. He made 4 boxes: consumer laptop, consumer desktop, professional laptop, professional desktop. He said, "We will only make 4 computers. That's it." He also made a deal with Microsoft. Microsoft invested $150 million in Apple. Many people hated this, but Steve knew Apple needed the money. In 1998, Apple introduced the iMac. It was a computer with a colorful, curved design. It was different from anything else. The iMac was a huge success. It saved Apple. It brought Apple back to life. In 2001, Apple introduced the iPod. It was a small device that could hold thousands of songs. It changed the music industry. In 2007, Apple introduced the iPhone. Steve stood on stage and said, "Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone." The iPhone changed everything. It changed phones. It changed computers. It changed how we live. In 2010, Apple introduced the iPad. Some people said it was just a big iPhone, but it created a whole new category of devices. But Steve was sick. In 2003, he was diagnosed with cancer. He tried to treat it naturally at first. Then he had surgery. He got better. Then the cancer came back. In 2009, he had a liver transplant. He looked very thin, but he still came to work. He still had ideas. On August 24th, 2011, Steve resigned as CEO of Apple. He wrote a letter. "I have always said if there ever came a day when I could no longer meet my duties, I would be the first to let you know. Unfortunately, that day has come." On October 5th, 2011, Steve Jobs died. He was 56 years old. The world mourned. People left notes in Apple's outside Apple stores. They remembered a man who changed everything. Before he died, Steve said something beautiful. He said, "I want to put a ding in the universe." And he did. Okay, Steve Jobs' story is one of the most famous in business. What can we learn from him? Here are 3 simple takeaways. Takeaway number 1: failure is not the end. Steve was fired from his own company. He was 30 years old. He felt like a failure, but he did not stop. He started Next. He bought Pixar. He kept going. And later, he came back to Apple and saved it. So here's the question for you. What failure in your life can be a beginning, not an end? Takeaway number 2. Make things beautiful. Steve learned from his father. Make the back of something beautiful too. He learned from calligraphy. Pay attention to how things look. He believed that technology should be beautiful, not just useful. So ask yourself, in your work, do you care about the details? Do you make things as beautiful as you can? Takeaway number 3. Think different. This was Apple's famous slogan. Steve always thought differently. He saw what Xerox had and made it better. He saw what phones were and made them different. He did not copy. He created. So here is the hard question. Are you following others? Or are you thinking for yourself? 3 takeaways. Failure is not the end. Make things beautiful. Think different. Pick one. Try it this week. And that is the story of Steve Jobs, a boy who was adopted, a student who dropped out of college, a young man who started a company in his garage, a billionaire at 25, a failure at 30, a hero at 50. Here is what I want you to remember. Steve Jobs was not perfect. He was difficult. He was demanding. He made mistakes. But he never stopped believing that technology could be beautiful, that computers could be for everyone, that one person could make a difference. He once gave a speech at Stanford University. He said, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work." Now I want to hear from you. Do you use Apple products? What is your favorite? iPhone, Mac, iPad? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If you liked this episode, please follow or subscribe to WealthWise. It helps other people find the show. Remember what Steve Jobs said. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. I'm Tom. This is WealthWise. See you next time.